Okay, hello everybody. Let's continue. Final case. Hey, Mr. Krabs, how are you doing today? Thanks for coming to the Dark Souls 3 stream. I think I might start a new game tonight. But, I'm not sure. We'll see. Let's continue with some Phoenix Wright. We're in the investigations room. Let's remind ourselves what kind of evidence we have right now. Oh. Okay, we have a new evidence. Only a signed detective's print can unlock it. Indicator lamplights up when it's open. Hey, how are you, Spyro? Good to see you guys. Yeah, I might play a new game tonight. We'll see. Not sure yet. ID card. Okay, we have Edgeworth was in here, and so was Bruce Goodman, who died. Why was Edgeworth in here, though? Half-written document dated. Submitted. Confiscated item report. Something stole an item there. ID. Oh, there's a handprint. There's a handprint. It's a bloody handprint. Yo, yo! Oh! Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant.
Hey! That's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that stuff?
New games is Borderlands 1? Nope, nope, nope. Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief.
Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it mail order. Well, I better jot this down in the floor plans. Oh, there's a fingerprint. There's a bloody handprint. You should be able to analyze for you should be able to analyze this for fingerprints, but you know. I knew it. This is someone's right handprint.
What? What's the matter?
What's the matter, detective?
What?
This locker.
It's mine.
It's yours?
Please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. I'll jot it down in the floor plans.
I'm counting on you guys.
Vida the Dragon. What? But you're a detective. There's blood over there. A lot of blood. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective?
Pale blue blood.
Maybe
Detective Goodman was actually an alien.
This proves that something really happened in front of the locker. I'll make note of it on the floor plans.
Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
There's a bunch of paint. Why is there a bunch of paint? Okay. Stop the... Let's examine some more evidence. Man, there's so much evidence in this level, man. It's insane. Okay, there's blood there, there's handprint there, and that's his locker, and there's a big pool of blood there. So that's crime happened. But you can never be sure. Alright, let's do some more examinando. Okay. Alright, let's continue. Well, what's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. It looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use the testing to check it out. Yeah, already did. Already did. I did. I did. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan.
You got a problem with that, Vita? No, I want to be Vita the Dragon. I wish I could be a dragon, dude. It'd be super cool to be a dragon. Flying around, you know? Wagging my tail. Getting all the dragon ladies. That'd be super cool.
That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there?
Another piece of FL9 evidence. Take a closer look. I wonder what shape these pieces bore for or whatever it was broken. You want to try to put it back together?
Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Oh. God damn, dude. This is wild. Oh, you have to rotate it. Wow, this is cool, dude. It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle. Nope.
Hadouken.
It's a puzzle.
No. Yeah. No, let's go. I made it back to kindergarten. Yay, I can make puzzles. I am puzzle champion. Nobody is better than puzzles at me. That almost made sense. Yeah. It's like a big vase or something. Vase or something. Huh. Like a big vase. Yeah. I am the puzzle champion. I am the puzzle champion. Yes. Oh, there's blood on it too. Hey, Francis! Hey, hey! Oh, I'm glad you're here, in case I get stuck. Thanks for the like. Huh. Well, I think we did it. But some pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem was finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with.
Still, doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understand it got broken. Unstable jar added to the court record. A piece is missing. Aww. There's so much evidence in this case, Francis. It's crazy. Hey, look! They're hard to make out, but there's some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it.
Wow.
You already get the ladies. I got the one that I wanted, yes. Spyro. I'm the luckiest guy ever, actually, honestly. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. Wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? The evidences will multiply more and more. There's so much evidence, dude. Man, I think that's it. Why is there paint? What is a saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the blue badger.
Well, you might say this is my studio.
Here in the evidence room? What? The blue badger's the key. He saw everything. Is there a camera on the badger? Considering you know me, you're the luckiest guy ever. Interesting. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know.
You mean the SL9? It does have a tag on it. Rubber glove added to the court record. Extremely thin rubber glove.
Hey, pal, look at the time.
Was there something you needed to do?
It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry soon should be letting out. I'm going to give them my report for the day.
What the hell is that? A menu?
It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problem?
Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
Should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. I think we're done here. Oh, not really. Detective Goodman's evidence locker. It's empty. Only Detective Goodman himself can open this locker. So the person who took out this knife had to have been Detective Goodman. But why was it wrapped in the scarf and muffler stuck inside the car? Muffler.
It's a crazy day, boys.
If you put these pieces together, it makes a jar. There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem like a little unstable? No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. I always leave a pretty big impression. You guys are all fantastic, I agree. Spyro Arrow. Spyro Arrow. I was thinking about playing some Street Fighter, but Blado doesn't. I don't think Blado wants to play, maybe. There's a blue and yellow paint here. I'm wearing a red necktie, you know? He's saying I can make a portrait of Phoenix. Okay, I think we're done. Maybe we go see Edgy Boy. Piece of white cloth is sticking out. Looks like a shirt. You better tidy it up or it'll get wrinkled. Hey, don't look at me. I didn't leave it hanging out like that. Where's Novice? You're a Novice. You're a Novice. You're Novice's friend. Okay. Novistador. The sheriffs back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence. Only thing I was shooting hand. Aha, but that things are two different entirely. I guess so. Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. The tag says SL9-11, SL-911. I guess this is another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for that word tag. It's confusing. I'm the real Spyro. Huh? What's so confusing about that? Do you have any other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag. Shag, is that a word? Do you dare challenge me? What are we playing, a word game now? I challenge you in Scrabble. This music's really good. Can I just say that? The sheriff's back in blah 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 blah. I just want to see if we could give him any evidence like this. No. Okay. Alright, let's go see Edgy. Let's go see Edgy Boy, shall we? We have so much evidence, it's too much evidence. Alright, that says SL9- what? 11? What about this? Does this have a tag on it? No. Didn't I see SL9? What was the note? SL9, 221. What the hell is that? Okay, let's go see Edgy. Blue Badger's very cool indeed. Slay! Hello! How are ya? Good to see you, my friend. Playing some Phoenix Wright. We be playing some Phoenix Wright. Trying to finish this final case. I mean, I won't finish it today, but you know what I mean. Hi, doing good. How you been? I can't complain, man. Just playing a lot of music lately. I'm not even trying to get gigs, and they keep finding me, which is good because I got some more money for video games. Yeah, life's good. How about you? Doing all right? Staying healthy? Hi, prosecutor's office. Oh my lord, how did he get here? Ah, yes, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. Here's the hotel. Bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry. Doing pretty good, trying to burn off some fat and get more muscle. Nice, man. Yeah, I should probably hit the gym a bit myself. I should hit the gym a bit myself. I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe is looking for... Detective Gumshoe is looking for you. Ah, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing has really taken a toll on him. It's worked a bit so far. Good stuff, dude. The samurai figure behind him, yeah. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times, ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation of this case will be directed by the chief of police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why? I ask you, why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I've nothing to be ashamed of. But still... Wow, I've never seen him out of sorts. Yeah, I don't think I want to examine everything here. I've already seen it. I've already read all this before in a previous episode. So I'm not going to read all this. But we might need to examine this room. It's possible that there's some information here. Wendy? What's up? Oh, Novice is back. Hello, Novice. Goodbye, Spyro Arrow. And hello, Novice. Maybe I should use the luminol and see if there's any blood here. Sorry, I'm skipping this because I've read all these things before on a previous stream here. But I just want to make sure there might be... Careful, don't skip dialogues. I've already read all this. Yeah. This is all from the beginning of the case, Francis. I've read every single one of these. But there might be blood here. Sofa hair is cool? Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see. I don't think this will help, but maybe I'll luminol the heck out of this place. Actually, I don't know if it's gonna let me. No. It isn't gonna let me. No looking for blood in Mr. Edgeworth's office. Okay. Yeah, we totally can, actually. What am I talking about? Okay, looks like there's nothing dangerous going on here. It's a funny sound effect. Okay. Alright, we're gonna have to present you with some evidence of some kind, perhaps. Let's see. Bye, Spyro! Spyro Arrow! Okay. I don't know. Does this help at all? No. No. Maybe if I just show him the best evidence, I can get some reaction out of him.
Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea?
I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright! Edward told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on anyway? Maybe I just show him the best evidence I can get a reaction out of him. I don't know what the hell it is. Oh, we gotta ask Edgeworth what he was doing in the police department. Yeah. Yup. I know. I know what to do. I know what to do. I know. Oh, right. I better check this now.
As I was saying, Oh! What's this? A record of ID card usage.
Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true.
Well, why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less.
The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence is already filed.
The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Evidence brought from a past case of Edgeworth brought back to his office by Gant's request. Wow! This is crazy!
Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case.
There's so much evidence! This is crazy! AI-16. Tag says AI-16. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edgeworth says. That makes it seem even more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be the clue that breaks the case. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Do you have anything else to say now? No. Since he doesn't know anything about the case, you could bring him up to date. Honestly, I'm not sure. If there's anything else I should do here. We could try to learn more about this other case. What if I show him this? What will he say? No, okay. Any other evidence? No. Oh, evidence room floor plans, maybe? Okay. I think we might be finished with him. I think we might be finished with him here. Oh. It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in.
You were the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd better tell you about this sooner or later.
You must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth.
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gaunt.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then?
He was a top officer, and it was the first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was the deputy chief of police on the investigation?
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't?
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win at a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief of police wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science.
Huh? Yes, of course. Just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminol testing fluid. Well then, you might have to use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints?
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
Wow! For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved.
Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Recovers fingerprint handprints for comparison with the fingerprint file. Fingerprint set and fingerprint file revealed. Even more evidence? Jesus! Alright, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember a suspicious handprint somewhere. Oh, wow. Thank you, Edgy Boy. Holy moly. This is crazy. Where's the fingerprint file? Where's the fingerprint file? I want to see it. Look at Edgy. Look at him, my love. Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. I'm starting to like him more and more. Alright, let's go back. Let's go back to the police department. Drove downtown in the rain. Oh. That looks like a handprint right there, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't that look like a handprint? Looks kind of suspicious to me. Just saying. That looks suspicious. Maybe the blue badger was inside the courtroom at the time. I mean, inside the evidence room at the time. In fact, I believe it was because they moved it out because they didn't want it to be seen in front of the other people during their little party. So the badger was inside of the evidence room. Then the killer maybe put his fingerprints on the badger? I'm just saying. I'm just saying he's your favorite. Oh, you can voice act him if you want, my love. You'd be a great edgy. Okay. Okay. Our investigation turned up in a suspicious handprint. Here, in the blood in the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. And the testimony. Right, let's get started. Choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. That would be Mr. Thumb. I can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With the X button. See? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With the triangle button. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to, though. Blue's Clues! Hey, Mr. Krabs. I remember Blue's Clues. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. Guess I better give it a try. We're laying it on thick, alright. Aha! You did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker again closely. Seems like there are fingerprints outside of the bloody handprint as well.
Fingerprints are so cool, we do in forensic science. Forensic science. Can I have some green curry?
Let's see if we can find a clear print. Huh? Fingerprints outside the blood? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Is this on mobile? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Oh, we got a print, baby! We got a print, baby! Why don't you dust me up, buttercup baby, then just blow me off? Okay, that sounds... Yeah, that was not intentional. Yep. Okay, that was, just pretend I didn't say that, okay? Yay, a print so clear it's dazzling. When I was a while, I found myself inside of the evidence room. CSI, La Vida Virtual. Did the dazzling. Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. It's probably Gumshoe. It's his locker, dude. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means these prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would most likely find on the evidence locker? This is crazy.
Comparison complete. Match found.
Aha! When did we get a computer? So those prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, it is his locker. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess it's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so now we come up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. This is where we got the luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? Their eyes go a-sparkling again. Oh, let's check for prints. That's the spirit! Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability or hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand? This is a great song. What? I'm dusting, but it ain't dusting. There's no dust coming out. Check the invisible fingers. I'm mashing X and nothing is happening, Francis. Oh, okay, it worked. I found a print. We found our compadre. You posted a clip? What clip did you get? Crap. Oh, Vita singing? You're funny. Hey, these fingerprints, they... Uh-oh. Marshall. 2 Japanese brother and sister won a gold medal. How exciting is that? That's awesome. Whose are they? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Oh boy. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. It was fun blowing on the microphone to remove the powder. Maybe you can do it. Maybe you can do it with the... You can do it with the PS5 controller, but it's probably not optimized for that. Looks like investigation's finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Oh, it's time to go back to court, boys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ba-ba. Let's go. Took a long time finding item. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time.
And a different suspect was arrested each crime scene.
Lana!
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
Not the same thing as using a pencil. Or to put the powder and then blow in the microphone for removing it. No, that's pretty fun. I agree. I agree, Francis. That's fun. You can blow on this controller. It works. If the game is optimized for it, you can blow on this controller and it'll work. But I don't think that would work for this game since it was made for PS4. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. Baby, I got all sorts of boyfriends. You know, giggity-goo.
So how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean.
But Lana! Don't tell me you...
Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about it as they are.
Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact.
Oh.
That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're gonna have to accuse Mr. Marshall. We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
Alright, you ready to use 20 plus evidence in this case? 20?! What the frick? 20? Oh, we better save a lot. I'm gonna take a sip of water and then we're gonna get started. Is this the last day of the case? Probably not, right? I guess we'll see.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is... Ugh.
Huh? I'm afraid you'll have to clarify.
It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain in both places at the same time
but that's not physically possible, is it?
I can't say it 'cause spoiler! I bet there's another day after this. I definitely bet there's another day after this. I'm like 99% sure. Okay, 90% sure. Okay, 75% sure. Okay, 85% sure. Let's go 85.
What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder of the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should both proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait.
Very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Wadsworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Ooh boy! Things are getting wild by the get-go. So, in American law, you have the right to refuse to be, take the stand as the accused, by the way. You do not have to take. Some people choose to do it, but you do not have to.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekin, sir. My occupation, that would be murderer, sir.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir.
I actually would like to hear from you.
Sir, wow, I call the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir.
Officer Meekins,
Yes, sir.
give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After I am a part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
The crime report. Sir. Testimony.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they undo to you. That is the Meekin family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and calling helped you regain your consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. Okay, let's save.
Crime report, sir.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Alright, let's save. Holy shnikes, this could be a rough one. Okay, let's do this. Hold it! Mr. Meekins, you worked in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I am the Blue Badger. I will murder all your family. Look at my baton and my flag to hurt you too. I will haunt you in your dreams, then you will be in my dreams. Family is all we need to kill, 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 kill. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. It was my sole mission for that day, sir.
I see. Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. And I relocated to the Blue Badger evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you use when you got there?
I saw a suspicious man in the security screen and rushed into the room, sir. Hold it! In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is, I found it! There's one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Hey, yes, sir. 498-9596. That is my number, sir. 498-9596. I see. Huh? But the number is 4989596. It's shown as being used twice! 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 Twice!
Please explain, witness.
Somebody took his card. There's no real mystery, sir. The first time when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh. Second time when I go in after everything's settled down.
I see, so it's during the second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Data added to the ID card. Blue Badger song version. I was only doing what I was trying to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife!
Detective Goodman pulls a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it. Let's save again. We're gonna have to confront him. He obviously didn't do it. He passed out. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for an instant, so I snatched the knife from him. You took his knife? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes, like a man. I see. Must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. He is very annoying, crap. But what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that I was unconscious? Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. It's nice that you recovered, Dennis.
When I came around, though, I made sure I finished my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. This is definitely not the last day in court. Well, we can rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered to me this morning, sir.
The chief? Delivered it?
What is that? A videotape?
Yes, sir, it's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room, sir.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased.
That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. Only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video? A real murder? Just what are we getting ourselves into? Yeah, you're right. We better save. I will murder your family. Then I will take you to tea. Here is all my friends to die. Will you come and then you'll cry? I am the blue badger. There he is. He's opening up the safe. There's the glove. Fell off. There's our boy Meekins. Punch. Defensive maneuver. Wiggle. What kind of security camera is this? Yeah, it definitely does not show him murdering the victim. In fact, it doesn't show the victim at all. Where'd the victim go?
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that's the pride and joy of the criminal affairs department, sir. It's the blue badger, sir. Why am I not surprised? This isn't going smoothly.
Security video added to code rather.
Yes, well, anyway.
We better save.
Well, anyway, this tape seems to prove the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker opened unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Unless they had his fingerprints.
What is this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure each locker is only opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman.
Very well. That doesn't prove at all that it must have been Detective Goodman at the crime scene. That proves literally zero of this. How could you possibly say this? Zero evidence about this. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Okay. Something fishy going on here. I know, maybe it isn't him and they used his fingerprints. I don't know. Or maybe it is. There was a large pool of blood, for sure. Alright. Again, we save.
It's a trap, Mr. Krabs. It's a trap.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video. No, it cannot. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face by the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people have seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But were you standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir. But I didn't get a clear look at his face. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when they're talking with them, you see? Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. I'm still sure it wasn't him. I bet my badge on it. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might want to say that. That is if you must label people as having seen or not seen it.
Since his face cannot be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Oh, why are you looking at me? Why do lay on your stairs is disturbing?
Make him!
Oh, he squeaked like a cat.
Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yeah.
You claim the man who brandished the knife on you is Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him.
I mean, he opened the locker, which required a fingerprint to do. About those lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the
Locker with the locker was only response to registered fingerprints. And he must be the person in the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir, and this too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir.
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the apartment cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
Ah. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
So it must be him, sir. No one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. So, sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do, after all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why this man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust a knife in my body, sir. My unsettled state can't testify enough through this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Okay. At least we don't have to listen to Blue Badger again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, I did see something. I did see something there. Hold on, let me try this again. Okay, check this out. Look on the right, look at the locker now. There's no glove hanging out of it. Yo, I think there's a problem here. I think there's a problem. I think there's a problem. I see something. Glove fell out. Is it the glove? Did he use the glove? Did it fall out of the locker? It's hard to say. Slash with a knife, then junk. Then stab. Where's the victim? Where's the victim? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you see that first? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Yo. Yo, he fixed the locker. He fixed the locker. I figured it out. Look at this. Look at the locker on the left. Nothing? Wait. Nothing? Where was the... There's like a towel or a tissue coming out of that locker. Like he opened his own locker. Nothing? This is so weird. What is going on here on the left? Okay, opens the locker, glove falls out. Nothing on the locker on the left. Slash. Nothing. Okay. Locker open. Somebody went through that locker. And it had his fingerprints. And it had his fingerprints. Okay. There is a problem with the security tape video, yes. Regarding the video contained in this tape. I should have saved. Let me save, just in case. There is definitely a problem here. Something's going on here. There is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Radford.
I propose we have the defense point out to us in this alleged contradiction in the video.
He would want me to point it out.
Very well, proposal accepted. Let us investigate this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction?
Get ready to pause it.
I will be a murderer.
There's a handprint on him, too. Take that! Baby! That's the thing that's strange about this video, has got to be this.
Oh, yes, it is strange. Something seems unnatural about that. What could it mean?
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
The point?
What you are looking for is the one thing that can only... something indicates may not be Detective Goodman.
Oh, yeah. Phew! I almost walked right into the fence's trap. Oh. I'll place him under arrest, sir! Rats. I need to slow down and tackle things one piece at a time. Now, what did I do? What? What the hell? That was definitely something. Check that safe. Not that safe. Hello. Can you help me make dinner later? Sure. I'm gonna go to the pool for a while. Love you. What? Hey, wait. What do you want me to make? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna help Mama Vita with dinner. Okay. Not that safe. That seems like an awfully big confirmation. I don't know how that could possibly be. That locker was opened or changed. How is that not a contradiction? And it's not his locker. I don't understand. Check the safe. Not that safe. The thing that's strange about this... Oh.
Hold a second, I need to use my eye drop. Well, I don't get it.
Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine?
Don't look at me with those bleary eyes.
Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again, hmm?
Now, what do I do? I don't... Maybe the glove? Yeah, I don't know. I literally found something. So I'm sorry. I don't understand. Judge is a troll. Also, this music. Oh my god. I did not mean to do that. Yeah. Okay, let's try again. At least it's letting me do it again. I meant to pause the video. Let me try the glove. Let me see if that's what it is. I literally found... Something seem a little strange about it. I mean, yeah, the light's on. The light above it is on. Is it open? The thing that's strange about this gotta be this! Officer Meekins. Sir! You mean me, sir? As I understand, this locker appears to work like this.
When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. The light was already on, yes. I noticed. Yes. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier. Oh my god. Really? You have to do this whole thing? Bam, 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 bam. I am the Blue Badger. I will murder your friends. Here, notice the light?
Watch this. It's already lit.
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Bam 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 bam.
Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
Well, the locker locks are controlled by electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report a malfunction.
Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor? Bum 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 bum. The Blue Badger music? Yeah, it is very annoying, for sure.
Yes, why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like Jam System Center? Something? Jam System Sensor, say? Oh, the glove. The glove. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. The glove. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in the footage. The glove probably jammed it.
Let's expand the video once more.
It's the glove. That's the glove. Okay, get ready to pause.
Yeah.
The glove. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. I am the blue badger. I will murder your family. Silly blue badger. At least we don't have to hear the music.
Watch this. Something white fell out of the locker.
Well, sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll out great distances when I open my car door, sir. We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggered the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
The glove, yes, we get it. We get it. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. Just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me.
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in that door.
Not only that, it also have to block electrical currents.
A rubber glove.
It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene...
There just might have been something that fits that description. Oh, sir. By insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
'Twas le glove. Le glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident.
Oh,
The video seems to depict the opening of the victim's locker. But this isn't the case. The lit lamp attested this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekin? Sure. It would appear so.
Order! So we are to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goldman.
do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edward?
The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that? Sir, of course, sir. Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony. Very well.
Mystery Man 2! Okay. We shall save. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the room, one must have their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had his card. He used his card. It was his card. It wasn't anybody else's card. It was his card.
An ID card record, I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using the room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference since I'm always quite spiky. The curtains match the drapes. Just saying. Spiky. Everywhere. It's a nuisance. The ladies kind of get pricked a little bit. Yeah. Phoenix Wright, baby! World famous. Slaying.
There were only a few cases up for transfer there, and most of them were clearly cleared up in the room.
Right, as I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Alright, we gotta save, of course. Okay. Okay. There's one other thing that proves this man was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, not really. Anybody could have taken his ID card. To be honest. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid stone, sir. My hand wasn't wrapped in bandages. I'd even give a V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Is that the card hanging from your neck, one of those ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of the car? Well, the remaining time, my ID card did get stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
Please proceed with your testimony.
When an ID card is used as a record of it. Let it be noted this is a record of the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman.
Huh? What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
So it is, Your Honor.
Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence.
Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him.
You got the wrong color, kid.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today.
I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Poor Mr. Reggie. It must be so difficult for him. At the time of the crime, the detective used his card. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Hey, I'm sorry, he didn't show me his ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Well, maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth has to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. I actually am not sure about this one here. Let's look at the evidence. I'm actually not really sure about this. Let's see. Okay. 420 Pog, 440 Edgeworth, 450 Meekins, bringing in the Blue Badger. 414 Goodman, 414 Meekins. Saw him in there. I don't know. Let's check my 999 evidences. Yeah, I mean, seriously. I'm honestly not sure about this. check my 9,999 evidences. I mean, it could be the tape again. The only thing I can think of that's weird about this is that someone opened the locker. Presumably, this rodeo cowboy opened his locker because that locker had been adjusted. But that's on the tape. I don't know. I don't know if the tape contradicts that again. This is pretty hard, man. This is really hard. Could be his ID card. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just try some things. Let me save, and then we'll just start trying some stuff. I honestly can't tell you. The only thing I notice is that there is that locker that's disturbed in the video, which seems odd because it couldn't have been him to open that other locker. And nobody else entered the room. So I'm going to say the tape is the first piece of evidence. I'm honestly not sure. Check the date on the tape. The date on the tape, huh? $221. Oh. 714 came in. Yeah, it seems to match up. 514. What time did it say? Yeah, 514. That's right. I don't see any issue there. I'm gonna say it's the tape, but I could be wrong about this. But what statement do I? One must use their ID card. This has got to be it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. It seems like it was right. Was it his card? 5842189. Remember that Goodman has lost something that day. No. I don't remember. Oh, his ID card. Objection! Yeah. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. Of course, Francis. Of course that makes sense. Yeah. You found the card at the other scene. Yes, that makes sense. The underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID.
Our last item report is only half completed.
But it shows Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill his report.
Let me guess. You believe this something was his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but the probability is high. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekers encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order! Order! Does the prosecution have a response?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo!
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What's he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive to one single conclusion. If the victim in this video is fake, then the murderer in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instance of murder.
That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed to content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't going to end well.
Well, well. Seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Russell.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department on 5:15, the day of the crime.
So,
The real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
the activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encounter? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? We save! We savo! 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 Alright, let's take a sip of water real quick. One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. Hadouken! The security video did not show the actual murder.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Yes, we know this. Did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces are found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Ah, Mr. Wedgwood.
Yes, Your Honor.
If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh, whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name?
Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Hadouken! Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess.
Cool. All right, let's keep going. I'm not done yet.
Defendant lobby.
Oh, there's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything.
Emma.
You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pal. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there! Chief Prosecutor Sky!
That's okay, so have you brought what I asked?
Oh! Oh ho ho! Ho 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 ho! You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name?
Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me.
Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident file? I'll need them by noon.
Talk about crazy!
The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were witness in that case.
Miss Sky was a witness? SL9 incident files added to the line of fire. Even more evidence? Sheesh! What is up with this crazy ass? You know. How many damn evidences are we gonna get?
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with these serial murders.
Oh, yeah, let's check the evidence. Let's take a look at it. What do we got here? Holy shit. Files for the Joe Dark killing, solved 2 years ago. Incident closed. Perpetrator, Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentenced to death. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall? Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall, huh? I wonder, is that related to our detective? Trial data. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witness Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Emma! What the frickin' hell are you hiding from me, Emma? Investigation Task Force. Executive Investigators. Damon Sky, Lana Sky. Damon Grant, Lana Sky. Head Investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. Okay.
Angel, baby, I'm your investigator. I'll investigate your lunchbox too, baby.
Yeah, that's where I met my sweetie Angel on that investigation. We've been making sweet angel music ever since.
I'm Bruce. I'm Dad.
Well, hey.
Super twist.
I'm Bruce. I'm Dad. Okay. Oh, what? Now I brought you your stuff. You just gonna ignore me?
Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, the SL9 incident is that?
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killing. Dark A.
The Joe Darkey? No, Lana. That's over with. No! She fainted. Emma, wait. She ran away. Okay, she didn't faint.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal. I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Graham, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you
just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
What the hell? Tell me! I better take a good look at this file. I did take a good look at the file, you dingus. Alright, let's do it. I'm gonna play a little bit longer here. Not too much longer, but I'd like to let's see if I can get through this court date here. Who knows, could be a long court date. Tell me! Hey, Molly? No sleep for you, huh, baby? Aw. Love you.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Oh, me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear a howling wind calling it out.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind? I never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place, is this correct?
According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sand. No paper and sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
Day of the crime.
My job is to keep a weary eye on the Bone Orchard. They said it was supposed to be making rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, that room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was on a side street saloon at the time it went down. Just an innocent traveling man. So if you're out of ammo, it's all the time I hit the trail.
That's definitely not true.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I particularly care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks?
What kind of newfangled doohickeys are these?
He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses there, Cowpoke. Now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Take him down to the station and beat him with a stick. When he comes up, yelping for water, drown him in a river. After that, tell him to say sorry. He said mean things about my beard. It took me 10 years to grow this beard. I love it. Like I love my cat. Very soft and furry.
Day of the crime, let's save. Okay. Guardamos.
My job was to keep a weary eye on that bone orchard.
The hell? How exactly do you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recording.
You interred them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time come, I erase the tape.
Cray of the dime.
Hey, how are you, Maru?
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter evidence room.
They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you, that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets Rouge gets in his way.
No desperados I know join the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime,
just between you and me, I didn't set foot in that evidence room that day.
there was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, I can't say I do. I've been around that crypt in weeks.
How does this guy avoid being fired? Damn good question.
Besides, the room is protected by 2 security systems.
You used to be a detective, so you used evidence in the room past, right?
Oh, of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite incredible.
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon the time I went down.
What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating SpaghettiOs, my cowpoke. Not even angel steak lunches beat the parlor's vongole sepia pasta. Yeah, I like pasta. Yeah.
Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
Not at all. Desperados eat tacos, partner.
That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
That's strange. This is unusually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want to raise this year?"
I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you had ammo each time I hit the trail. The trail.
Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right.
Partner, or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan on pinning me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horses are waiting to carry me back to the west in the sunset.
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everybody knows that.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep it cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Okay. Save. Alright, what are we doing here now, Amaru and Molly? What are we doing here, my friends? Alright, what are we presenting? Up the ante, he says. Okay. Well, I see some evidence. You could try this, but I don't think that's gonna work. No. I mean, so that's not it. I wonder what it is, though. I'm trying to figure out. I mean, we obviously have the fingerprints, but I don't think that's gonna really work, but we could try it. We could try it. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that it's you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner. Whiskey. Frisky whiskey. Yeah.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Oh, listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, I make the rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Not bloody one. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints are covered in blood.
Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene.
The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall?
About the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well, you may begin your testimony about the fingerprints, mother trucker. Better not say nothing about my beard or I'll F you up. Judge Murphy, baby. I'm gonna screw you up. Give it to you nice and hairy. Mess you up. Beard life. Let's go. Found at the scene of the crime.
Blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural my fingerprints being in that there evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodhound fingerprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it.
Video says you opened the locker.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
That wouldn't be so fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. I can feel it calling in the court tonight. Hold on. I'll give you evidence to prove you had the knife. Hold on. Oh, Lord.
Okay, let's do it.
Pinky Winky's brother, Drinky Whiskey. Drinksky Whiskey. Pinky Winky. Bloodstains fingerprints. Alright, save. Save. Only natural for fingerprints be in the evidence room. We'll see about that. That's because you did, how'd you put, pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. One more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently, his fingerprint data would never be removed from that locker. Programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Marshall's fingerprints updated in the court record. Really? Okay. What did they update about it? What did they update about it? Okay, I guess he admits it.
One of them just happened to be in the same place the bloodstained handprint.
We'll see about that. So then, what about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine, it's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. Just so happened, the murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
Don't know about that, because the locker was open. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could just argue the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
I don't think that's true. Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, the other's got a type of murder.
He's right, although seeming alike, they're totally different.
Oh my God, Judge. What the frick? How did you become a judge? You're an idiot. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this.
Oh, didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It's found in Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place the hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
The seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape.
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
Oh, it definitely is.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. We're going right to the security tape. Of course. I found this. I literally figured this out the first time I saw the tape. Okay, not the first time, but like the second or third time. Okay, you can check it on the stream.
Now then, continue your testimony.
We're going to present the tape. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. Oh. That's wrong? Damn. What do you mean? He's in the tape! Well, I mean, he isn't, but his locker changes. We better save again. What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
But that video is next to useless, full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates the Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
That's literally what I tried to do, and then they gave me a penalty for that. Thanks, game. Could have just saved me a step there. Whatever. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video.
Yes, indeed, we shall. He's Pinky Winky's brother. Okay.
So Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
Okay, I'll show you. I am the Blue Badger. I'll murder your family. This is not the friendly kind of badger you see. You ready to stop it? You ready to pop it, lock it, drop it? Pop it, lock it, and drop it. Pop it, lock it, and drop it. Bring your attention back to the security camera. Is it a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall?
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Very well. You can be clearly seen in the video.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
Bum 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 bum. I love this music, dude. The key lies in certain lockers shown in the video. That locker
With that white cloth sticking out, that was the witnesses, I believe. Now,
let's rewind the video a bit. I know there are some parts a bit confusing, sometimes don't work even if they are connected. I mean, it would be nice if it saved me a penalty, you know?
Oh, the white cloth, it's gone! What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order! Order! It would seem the only...
Hold your horses, sorry, partner. But you get the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? Doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer need to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
Because you're an idiot? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I'll call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. A fingerprint sensor?
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force don't know about the fingerprint locks.
So Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
I only got one word for you, partner.
No! Order! Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst I ever heard.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now, please tell us what you were doing in that evidence room at the time of the crime.
Ole! Please, ole! Oh, I went to Spain, you know. Ole! Please answer the question. Whippersnapper. Now who's got the shizzy-looking beard, huh? Huh? You're in the ring now. And the lasso's coming around your neck. What you gotta say?
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That judge is really insecure about his beard.
That's all I got, man. You know, I'm a lonely man. All I've got is my beard. It's where I hide my snacks. My pet rat. It's my pride and joy. Okay? I'm an insecure boy.
Seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion. I have no idea, actually. I have to save here.
Well, then let's hear it.
Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Here? Take that! Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There, but that's where the victim Detective Goodman was.
Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Well, that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, though, Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes. And how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it.
Whew!
As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say about this, Officer Marshall?
You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a team term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that. Take a break, detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Again with the beard! Again with the beard! He comes after my beard every time. Every time. It's my pride and joy. I use beard oil. I get it from a leftover bloomin' onion. They come from this restaurant that serves fake Australian food, but they're very oily, so I oil my beard with the bloomin' onion oil. Outback Steakhouse, they call it. Sheesh, again with the beard. Christ. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
This can't be happening. So obvious he's the one. What can I do? What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof of Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance he might be discovered later as it had been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of that locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. What is the cloth?
Judge seems insecure about his beard. Very insecure.
What is the cloth? I'm not sure.
Very well. Let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth.
Okay, saving.
Please show us why the witness had to open his locker.
I'm actually not at all sure about this. Could it be the paint? The badger? The glove? Fingerprints on the locker? Because he got in a fight with my boy? The knife? The knife? You think it's the knife? Blood? Oh, he really sliced up my man's hand over here. I don't know. I'm gonna try the knife. I could be wrong here though, but I'm not sure. Take that! I could be wrong here. Well, what do you have to say to that?
Alright, partner. You really want to know the reason I had to open my locker?
Why?
So I could stuff you in there.
Huh?
I'm sure the world will be a better place with you sent off to the boneyard. Unfortunately, unresolved cases can't be stored in the evidence room.
Now I'm an unsolved case? Okay, that's not it. Check carefully the entire fight. Alright. I'm honestly really not sure. Maybe the blood on the kid's hand? What the hell is going on here? What is the... You can fast forward and rewind. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Fast forwarding. God, this music! Oh my god.
I am the Blue Badger. I'll be in your dreams and your nightmares, 'cause I am the Blue Badger, yeah.
Knife. Slash. That's the only thing I can think of. Bloody hand? What the hell could it be? Grabbed him? Blood on his coat? Yeah, he probably got blood all over his coat. Right? Oh. Oh. Is that blood stains? Is that blood stain? Is that blood stains? Or are those buttons? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a blood stain. Take that! That's a blood stain, alright. That's a blood stain. For some reason you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman. And entered the evidence room, though I don't know what to what end yet. Yet? However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner. Not bad. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Because right now my beard's looking a lot thicker than your alibi. Ha ha ha! Got him, PogChamp, judge for life, baby. Ha 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 ha! I'm so funny.
Got him. Looks like I underestimated you. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it.
All right. Seems the time has come.
The Marshal's confession. Should we save? I don't know.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take that out as evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins, so I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas would be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
Okay.
So the supposed victim was really you?
But there's one other thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, there's something fishy going on here. And hey, Lucy! Hey, Marshall, you got some explaining to do. Okay, let's save. Save the game.
I had to do it. I couldn't stay and let it die.
What did you have to do? When you say it, you mean?
Do you even have to ask, partner?
The SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going completely with the transfer that day. Now, have I had anything to do with it?
Something fishy whiskey.
There's something fishy whiskey going on here. And it's your blood alcohol level.
The incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at myself one more time, no matter what the cause. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why would he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence.
Why did you describe yourself to Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me nowhere. So you did it to fool the security camera?
And the detective's ID card?
I stole it the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
Ooh, that's a crime right there. That's a crime. Planting evidence. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins, so I knocked him right out. Clean kill. 360 no-scope, mother trucker.
You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short a time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry to turn out that way. With me and knocking him out and everything.
You said you cut him slightly, yet you somehow got a bunch of blood on the floor. I don't think so. Something fishy. By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out, and?
And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera.
So you did your research beforehand?
Those who going out in the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If I'd gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is on that day,
there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? I mean,
what? Mr. Edgeworth, where's that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty? Someone else stole the evidence? Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free, ready to decide not to answer or not, because I'm a frickin' badass. I don't answer questions if I don't want to answer them. You better liquor me up nice and thick. Maybe I'll answer it then. Give me a pretty lady. Maybe I'll answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID card, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Oh. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one here is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I can't forget that SL9 incident. You know why?
No. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Darkay, was convicted for his crime. One thing I can't say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember Joe Darkey case. It involved serial murderers, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with the incident?
Maybe I should have presented him with that.
Maybe I should present him with what I think is his real reason. If I had a feeling he'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Yeah.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die.
When you say it, you mean?
Do you even have to ask, partner?
Okay. Alright, let's read the file here. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodwin was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence. Wouldn't get me nowhere.
Okay, yeah, we already saw this. Okay. Something fishy whiskey. Alright, let's read the case file so we can make sure we know what page it's on. You know why? I'm about to find out. Check. Because Neil Marshall was a victim. Probably, right? That would be my guess. Should have saved. Oh well. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice there, partner. You know, cactus margarita. Do you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain? I do. I'm not into yoga, but I only got half a brain.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. A list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall? Yes, I'm sure I heard that name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Grant, the deputy chief of police.
I think Grant is the one, man. I think Grant is the killer. Or Gant, I mean. I do. I definitely do.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were the 4 Bambinos. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Darkey. My brother fought Darkey and was killed.
Is Damon a demon? He might be. He might be, E.E. I think he might be.
That was the first time Darkey left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public record.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Darkey. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say, no matter how much you try to hide it. You can't fool me. Ugh.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day of the SL9 case could be reopened.
Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
Huh.
The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time the murder prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's got to be more than just that.
So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot is the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime, Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. It's safe.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
How are you, EE? You doing good today? You playing any Guilty Gear?
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less.
Ah!
I rest my case.
It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. Disproving the alleged murder at the police department?
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Hold it! Your Honor, wait! Emma! The defense has an objection, a scientific objection! Not playing anything because I'm sick. Might be corona since we went to the Hensky. I was wearing 80% wearing a mask. Oh no! Capital in Helsinki. Oh shit, dude. Well, you better quarantine and get tested. Oh, poor guy. Well, you're young, so it's probably not going to hurt you too bad, but it might make you pretty sick. Poor EE. Yeah, you better make sure you're quarantined from people and get tested. I take it you haven't been vaccinated yet because you're too young probably to get a vaccine. Oh, yeah. Well, better get tested. The defense has an objection, a scientific objection, right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Yeah, you don't get vaccines. Ay. Yep, you better get tested. Find out. If you're not, if you didn't get corona, then you'll be back out in no time. You know? Please hear me out.
Mr.
Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
What a nice, edgy boy. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the killings of Joe Darkey. Now that she mentioned it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd sure find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. You did? So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. What? Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. We can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you! Nephew's 12 when he got the vaccine. Kind of depends on which vaccine, and it also depends on the country. I think like 16-year-olds or something, or 14-year-olds in maybe like 16-year-olds can get it, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, teenagers, something like that in the United States can get it, but it depends on the country. You know? Depends on the country. I think younger than 14 or 13 or 16 can't get it here in the United States. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope you feel better. Hopefully it won't get... You're young, so probably won't put you in the hospital, but still, be careful, you know? Mimi! Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood moth. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. If there is a problem with this...
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that last blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed concentrate, it's now. 16-year-olds in Finland? Man. I see. The only thing I can think of is the blue badger. It's covering it up in the video, so you can't see it, I don't think. This handprint left at the scene of the crime clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't drawn on there?
Yes, something, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plan?
The only thing I can think of is the blue badger. That's the only thing I can think of is the blue badger. Who came in at 4:20? I'm really not sure. Maybe the security video?
As they say, back west, even a blind man can hit with a buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing the general direction.
Bloodstain on gumshoe safe?
It seems Mr. Wright's not sure in which direction to face.
It's no use. The more evidence there is, the greater the chance of being wrong. Try the blue badger, because why not? Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you.
What about that piece of plywood?
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. Blue Badger is not here.
So
watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well?
What?
Oh! That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot of the locker.
what?
So that means... just what exactly does that mean?
It means it can't be done. What are you saying?
Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on the afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought in the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it'd be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. And Meekins didn't see it? What an idiot.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. Also, did you know that's a good word, balderdash? It's also a good board game. You should play it sometime. Look it up on the Googles. Check out balderdash and play it with your family. It's pretty fun. I'm serious. I sometimes play it with the pet that lives in my beard. He usually beats me. I'm not exactly the brightest tool in the shed.
He said something in a young voice. May sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, the blood was spilled once but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, which is far from a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle shown in this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claims. I still love this music, but I refuse to accept your claims. Why does this courtroom sound like a disco? Baby, I just want to shake my hips. Give me that Edgeworth shuffle. Baby, do it on the double. I am Sir Edgeworth. I'm the chief prosecutor's friend. I will... Oh, boy. All right, I'm sorry. I've just got a bit wiggly.
The murder portrayed in the security tape had been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence for proof when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to the Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in the evidence room.
That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edwards said, proof must be presented.
Okay, I'll do it. I know it. I know the proof. I know it. There's only one of these evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present it as evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
I know it. It's the cell phone. I'm just kidding. 420, baby. Pog! If the time took place inside the evidence room, the killer would have to enter it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh! The ID card backup.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger in panel at the evidence room at, let's see here,
4:50.
if the crime took place before that time, it would be
4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
I do, I know. He has a parking validation. Just think outside of Schrodinger's box. He has a parking validation.
It's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
This means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and then clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth enters the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one card number remaining. 777 7777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there was no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777 7777. I have a feeling that Gant is 777 7777. I'm just saying, I bet that's him.
Please look into this ASAP. Find out whose number is 777 7777.
That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777-7777 belongs to someone with the rank of Captain or higher. Someone who's so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
But that's ridiculous. Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
An official charge is filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgery. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you, to her, the defendant sitting over there.
Chotomate! Cho!
Your own little executive.
Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder.
Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 777-7777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SO9 incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really use only legitimate evidence?
Wow, this goes on, man.
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt powerlessness of the law. At least I did.
Oh, Lana!
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
The defendant, what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look at an investigator in that crime in the eye and say what you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't!
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order to get him the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if involved forging evidence. Forging.
Lana, no! And it wasn't just you who did it. It was your old partner.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
No!
No, no, no! Order! Order! Order!
Lana's remarks caused such a stir, the chaos in the room would have to wait until the following day. Holy hell. Wow. Okay, that's good for today. Thank you so much, everybody who's come to hang out with me. I've done a lot of voice acting today, and I'm pretty tired, and I gotta make some spaghetti for Mama Vida. Not that it's very difficult, but it's time for me to go make some dinner. And then, maybe tomorrow we can finish this case. Do you think we can finish it tomorrow, Francis? I know you don't want to spoil for me, but do you think it's possible to finish it tomorrow, or do you think we'd have to take another couple of cases, another couple of days? What do you think? Guess we'll find out on the next episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, featuring your boy, Edgeworth.
And your boy.
And also me. I'm pretty important, too. You know?
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, EE. Thanks, Francis. Who else was here? Amaru, Molly, Krabs, Novi, Spyro, Slay. I think that's everybody. So forgive me if I missed you. Lots of love, friends. Can you play it during the weekend or a little earlier? It is pretty late. Well, I do want to finish it soon. Take care, everybody. Good night. Get some rest. Lots of love. Peace, boys. Bye-bye.